Well, I seem to have entered a snowy canyon, so to speak. A little bit of a channel worn for the trail here that, due to the recent weather, still has a bit of snow and frost accumulated on the sides. So, tons of these ice crystals coming out of the ground. Gotten some good pictures of them as I've gone. But continuing on up, I think I've gone, close to 5 miles at this point, getting close to about a third of the way through. Air's getting a little thinner at elevation, having to breathe heavier, it's drier, so taking a little out of me. Anyway, I'm gonna continue on up there and we'll see what lies beyond. Well, I've reached the next trail junction. So as you can see there, I'm only 1.3 miles up the dry sluice gap trail till I get to the AT. So progress is continuing on. According to this, I'm only 4.5 miles, not the 5 I thought in the last clip. So about 4.5 miles so far, but you know, just I think another quick section of 1.3 miles of significant elevation to go, and things hopefully will level off a bit as I progress along the AT. A couple ups and downs along that stretch, and then we'll start our descent down at the other end. So still feeling pretty good. It's been a little slower this last stretch, but yeah, that was to be expected with the elevation. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and continue on. I took a little water break there and sent a check-in text to the family, let them know where I'm at. No significant signal here, so it'll go out when and if I get to another signal spot. But I'm continuing on. I seem to have passed that section of winter wonderland I went through. I'm sure I'll see some other patches of that as I go, but for now we are going to continue on here and see what this trail holds for us. I'll check in on the way. Well, started to see my first signs of life. I've been out here on the trail by myself since leaving the trailhead, where there was a couple taking a photo op at that first bridge to get on the trail. But that's all they were doing, they weren't hiking. Well, anyway, as you can see, we got a footprint here. First signs of human life so far out here, but it's obviously heading the other direction. So and hard to tell in the snow, whether that was today or sometime previous. Could have been yesterday. Anyway, I won't see them obviously, but there's hope for more people ahead. I'm hoping, especially as I get out to the AT itself, I'll see some of the many thru hikers that are in the area this time of year, making their way. Maybe stop and have a chat with some of them if they're amenable, just to get a sense of how the trail's been like so far in 2023. Anyway, as you can see, back to some of the winter stuff, but nothing too hard going. Haven't had to get the micro spikes out for anything yet. Hopefully I won't have to today. Anyway, just thought I'd share that. Continuing on. Yeah, probably less than half a mile at the end of this trail, so hoping to get to the AT relatively soon here. But well, the trees are blocking it again. Again, glorious views of the Great Smoky Mountains all around here, and I'm enjoying every bit of it. We've gone through some alternating sections of mud and ice. Seems to be where the sun's been hitting it, it's mud. Where it's been shaded, it's ice. So that's the tail of this stretch, is mud and ice. And we will see what characteristics the section of the AT that I'll be going along will present to us. But so far we've had foot logs, rough crossings, and now the trail of mud and ice. Well, obviously with those two conditions I gotta keep an eye on my footing, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop the film for now, focus on getting ahead safely, and we will check in again further down the way. Just giving you another sense of the trail here. Like I said, mud and ice. This obviously ice. So careful, because one slip and it's a long way down. I'd prefer not to find out how far. Obviously, as you can see, some of the footsteps in the ice, if you're making those out, someone's been through here. I'm thinking more and more it was probably yesterday that someone came through. Yesterday was a pretty nice day, and it was fresh after the day before's snow and rain and ice. So I suspect those footprints may have been made on that day, yesterday, and had just remained in place until today. So being careful here. The rocky down stretches with ice are problematic, but it's so intermittent I don't quite want to get the microspikes out for it. But if it keeps up with a little more regularly, I may have to do that. Anyway, I'm gonna focus on my footing here and stop talking. Well, I made it to the AT officially as a hiker. I am on the Appalachian Trail. Maybe not a through hiker yet, not even a section hiker, just a simple day hiker. But I made it here. I got half a mile to go to get to Charlie's Bunyan, and you know, the views have been great all along. But hey, not bad for your first view from the AT. I'll take it. And I'm just thrilled as can be to be out here. I've still got a long hike ahead of me, but now I am hiking the Appalachian Trail. So, part of my 1,000-mile journey, hopefully part of a future more epic adventure. But you know, I'm not going to walk while filming right now because it's still a little bit snowy and icy up here. But I'm going to enjoy this next section maybe a little bit more. Thanks for coming along with me on this. Well, the trail opened up a little bit here. I wonder why. Here's a spot. It's obviously been marked for something. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's the kind of thing we're out here for. Pretty amazing. I just like to take in a view here like this for a minute. Thought I'd share it with you guys. Great Smoky's laid out before you there. Not much more needs to be said. Did it! That's 360. That's crazy. Well, I have accomplished Charlie's Bunyan. Didn't do any recording myself there. There were a few people around, so I tried to be respectful. Though I did get some good stills of myself out on the point. They were gracious enough to help me out. I helped them out, and so everyone was in good spirits and very cooperative. So now I am trekking back along the AT, continuing on in the direction towards Newfound Gap. So I suspect the trail between Charlie's Bunyan and Newfound Gap might be having a little bit more traffic, because until I got to Charlie's Bunyan I had passed one person, and only after I got to the AT. So maybe a little bit more people to see, along with my enjoyment of the sights. Anyway, it's a little muddy, a little rocky, so I'm going to pay attention to what I'm doing here, and we'll check in further down the way. Well, I had to break out the ice spikes. As you can see, still on the AT, and it's just been getting slicker and slicker. So we're going to see how these things work out. So far so good, but yeah, I figured better safe than sorry. I was trying to avoid using them, but no real good reason to avoid. And if we're going to categorize the AT section, I was going to say, you know, we had mud and ice on the last section, and this one was going to be slush and rocks. But the slush is starting to freeze up again, so it's slush and ice and rocks. But still seeing a lot of people heading out towards Charlie's Bunyan from the Newfound Gap area. So we'll see how many more we see as the afternoon progresses. Had been going a little slower than anticipated, so I may be chasing the sunlight, getting back down to my trailhead. But I've let my base crew know, and we'll get through this one or the other. Carrying on, and we'll check in later. Well, we just met a couple of thru hikers. They have stopped for the night at Ice Spring Shelter here. The section northbound of Newfound Gap. And they are settled in for the night. And I'm gonna go over some of the section I just walked tomorrow. Anyway, ice spikes worked great. I still got them on because I understand there's some more icy stuff up ahead. So trying not to chew them up too much on the rocks here. I don't know how well they do on that, or how well my feet will do walking with iron spikes on rocks. But anyway, just checking in, giving you the news. I'm moving along, still trying to keep up a steady pace, but looking forward to some of those descents when they start. Hopefully they won't be too treacherous. Anyway, we'll check in further down the way. Should be getting relatively close to the end of my AT section for the day. I'll be starting the cut back down. Looks like I might have another 6 to 6.5 miles down to where I got dropped off this morning. So we'll hope that the downhill pace is a little bit better than the uphill pace, because I am behind schedule for the average 8-hour duration of this hike. Of course, that 8-hour duration may be for summertime conditions when this does not slow you down. But anyway, I'm trekking along pretty good now. Still seeing the white AT blazes, but I will be cutting away from that shortly. It has been a fun trek along the AT. Hopefully just a small precursor of adventures to come. Anyway, I'm gonna continue on here make sure I keep my eyes open for my turnoff so I don't miss it, because extra miles are not what I need right now. Anyway, just thought I'd check in before the end of the AT section. Well, I'm leaving the AT. Sign, as you can see, and heading down the Sweat Heifer trail. So I've got about 6 miles left, but it's all downhill from here. So we're gonna head on down. I've communicated to the family about my progress, and looking to get, in fact that's them probably acknowledging what I just sent them, but we'll see if we can't meet up with them before the sun's down. Anyway, I'm gonna focus on the next section of the hike and see where we go from here, if I need to keep the spikes on or if I can be able to take them off and get back to just the regular shoes. Anyway, we'll see if there's anything epic or interesting to view or film along the way, but for now I'm gonna keep on keeping on and we'll check in further down. It's amazing the varied weather and trail conditions I've encountered today. Yet something completely different now. This is actually more like the kind of stuff I'm used to getting back closer to home. But it's still all part of this little adventure I'm on, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. Have yet to figure out how to classify this section of the trail, what key characteristics it has, but as soon as I do, I'll let you know. Anyway, you know, you probably can't really see much through the trees, but the epic views are still there, have been all day. So I'm continuing on. As they say, I'm chasing the sun now, because even though sun sets later after the time change, I'm up in the middle of the mountains here, so as soon as it dips behind peak, it's going to be cooling off and getting dark. So anyway, little treacherous here with the mud, so I'm going to pay attention to that, and we'll check in further down the way. Well, it's been a while since I've been near a stream, but it looks like I get to cross another one. No ice here, it's warm. Well, I say no ice, but if you look down there, there's an interesting ice sculpture. Hopefully you guys can see that. Anyway, I've got a mild crossing to do here. A little bit of a rock water tumble, not quite a waterfall I guess, but still enjoyable to look at. Anyway, I'm moving along. Pace is picked up, the trail's a little easier, and it's definitely easier going down than up. Air's getting thicker, I can breathe a little better. I know it's not drastic changes, but every little bit helps. So all in all, I've been rather pleased with the hike, my ability to handle it. You know, I know I did the big 18-miler at Kennesaw Mountain near the start of this adventure, but that was warmer weather and smaller pack, so, and definitely less elevation. But I'm pleased with how things have gone so far, and hopefully it's a sign of things to come. Anyway, trail looks like it gets a little wet here, so I'm going to stop narrating and focus on what I need to pay attention to. Well, it looks like I've got a bit of a waterfall up ahead of me, as well as potentially a crossing in front of it, so we'll have to see what kind of treachery we're dealing with here. But first major flow like this I've seen coming down on this side of the mountain. So we'll have to stop and take a look at it and assess our situation. I don't know if you can see it, but again, downstream of these waterfalls you get some interesting ice crystals. Well, I don't know if you can hear me over the flow. Well, that's pretty cool. Nice smooth worn rock shelf there at the base. I'll be able to just stand here, take it in. Anyway, I gotta keep moving. And fortunately the rocks are mostly stable. But we're continuing on. All right, well, we're gonna try another crossing here. This one a little more spaced out, but hopefully those rocks are stable. So I just got to get my way down to them over this downed log. And see how this goes. All right, that's one. And there's the view upstream to the flowing waters. Downstream. And crossing the stream. Oh, you know what? It fooled me. They were supposed to be stable rocks, and this one is wobbly. Okay. That one better be stable. Stable. And across. Stealth rocks. I gotta watch out for those. Anyway. Continuing on. Well, still continuing on. Figured I'd touch base. Should be getting relatively close back to the shelter and the trail junction down to the Kephart branch, which will lead me back down to the trailhead. But definitely a different character to the trail here. It's drier for one thing, and the views off below are distinctly different. Anyway, just thought I would share that a little bit as I'm walking along here. Going down, gotta watch where you step, otherwise it's a much faster trip than you would like to make. Anyway, I need to focus on where my tired feet are putting down, so I'm gonna put the camera away. Well, I've made it back to the trail juncture, down to the Kephart Prong trail, down to the trailhead. As you can see behind me, the Kephart shelter, which I found out is going to be occupied tonight. As I was coming down from the AT, I passed a group from an adventure class or adventure trip from REI that were taking a break alongside the trail, and they're going to be sheltering here tonight. So didn't know if they'd have anyone down here setting up ahead of time, but does not seem so. So I am going to continue on. I have my double back, covering terrain I've already done, and I think it's about 2.3 miles. So I'm going to knock this out as fast as I can, because I think my wife's waiting for me at the trailhead in about 20 minutes. So hopefully I can get there without her waiting too long. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out here. It has been quite a day. I have seen things that were amazing. I have accomplished feats that, you know, at one time I never thought I would be able to do. And I've gotten a decent distance to help make up some of the deficit I'm sitting in right now on my journey of 1,000 miles. But, you know, we'll have to hope that the spring weather is here to stay back home and that I can get out and get some serious hiking in and the rest of March and on into April. Anyway, thank you for coming along with me today. Today's video will, you know, I'll probably end up either editing a lot out or breaking it up into maybe a two-parter, because I know I took a lot of footage today. But hopefully you all enjoy it as much as I have, or maybe not as much as I have, but you know, as much as you can through the video experience. And there might even be a little bit of a bonus at the end, so hopefully you watch the whole thing. Anyway, I will catch you again on the next trail, and thank you for coming along.